reviews, and
our forefathers came, some seeking adventure, some bound in chains, through battles waged and fought, through victory and pain, by test of their courage, our freedom was gained. To those gone before us, the heroes of lands in the sun, we vow to join hands and to focus on building one Caribbean. Raise your voices high. Sing
welcome brothers, welcome sisters, welcome to our program Untitled. And as usual, as soon as we start this program, you can pick up the telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about any topic. Politics, religion, socioeconomic issues. We have a caller on the line. Caller Punch.
Good afternoon, my beautiful.
Yes, and welcome. Good to hear your voice.
Yes, man. I'm coming to give a piece of news about, they talking about Bishop. The person that talking about Bishop, they is not as a bishop at all. You have to go with that. I could tell you in those days, in Bishop days, Miss Bishop, they used to call me, no?
What they say about Bishop?
Calling me in Bishop.
You was a strong follower of Bishop.
strong. Well, I don't know.
But you don't agree with the jailing all these people?
No, I don't agree with it.
You know that over 3,000 Grenadians was in jail?
Yes, I know about that.
The jail Tillman Thomas too.
Yes, I know about that part.
And there was no freedom of the press.
No, it's true.
And he jailed the Rastas.
Yes.
In Hopeville.
But he never jailed me.
You lucky? Well, you Miss Jacob, you in jail. You.
What? You see me and Miss Roberts?
But you know he jailed.
This is two elderly lady, our four easy like.
And he jailed Dr. Japal.
Yes.
And Kenny Lalsin.
Yes.
Yeah, over 3,000 Grenadians.
Yes, it's you.
Was in prison by Maurice Bishop.
Yes. But Bishop was a nice guy.
Bishop was an orator. He could have speak well.
Say that to me. I don't know. Is everybody have something at the church?
You see,
okay?
people love him.
Yes.
Tall, red, handsome man.
Anything. And what? When you see that evening, I ain't telling you what they say, them see. Bishop does come, he making sure he come for me and Miss Roberts.
He was a nice person.
He coming for me and Miss Roberts.
But a bad politician.
Amen.
Yeah, he was a nice person. People like him.
Yes.
He was very charismatic.
Didn't they in the type to say to convey? You know what he do?
He couldn't run the country.
If he did take the country by the pen,
by the ballot
to him.
Yeah.
Because we told him that. Me and Miss Roberts used to sit down and tell him that. Yeah. We still know we talking to him.
But he wasn't able to win Jerry that time.
When he go to the Queen, that time was too late.
Yeah.
It was too late.
Too much people in jail.
Too late.
Yeah, the international community condemning him.
That's right. And those people what he had behind him was young people.
The commissioner of police was 24 years.
Yes.
You never a policeman before.
No.
Young people.
I'm telling you.
They was intelligent, but they wasn't smart.
No.
And they didn't respect the elders.
No.
And they brought the country to rule.
They rule the country down, yeah. But when they do checking, when they do take the advice from us, and he tell us he going to the Queen, but we tell him he going to the Queen too late.
Yeah, too late. By that time, he don't know what to do.
That's right.
Yeah, so he lost his life.
He lost his life.
Yeah.
He didn't want to take it by the pen.
And he didn't even respect the church.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that man, that day, that man, bring me and Miss later, What he does do, he come for us on Friday. He go down on the airport to give you the blind fella that does stuck on the with your GBN.
Yeah.
Yes, he bring the and who tell you he had one set of workers used to work fast night and one set of workers used to work.
Well, you see, Bishop was a nice
and you
person.
see something again, you know something again, and he used to pay him, give he the money to pay those workers.
You see,
and he give he the money to pay those workers in US.
Yeah.
And he giving those people the.
But you see, Bishop was a nice personality. All Grenadians love him, but he was a bad politician.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
thank you.
And
Yeah.
you know something again? I get a little piece of education from him. We used to have school for the
Yes, they had the literacy school, or how you call
right.
it.
And we used to take we own in Titibakai by church day. I used to go to school in the night.
That was very good.
That was a very
Good people as do bad things and bad people as do good things.
Amen.
So we can't be too judgmental.
And you know, some of us again, let me tell some of us, we have the education. And if you don't have common sense, you don't have nothing, you can't do nothing. You having the hammer in your hand. Well, you don't have the common sense to knock it on the board.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah, thank
You
you.
have the heart or the common sense to knock it on the board.
You have to have both. Yeah.
That's right. So, my dear darling,
Thank you very much, and it's always good to hear your voice.
And a pleasant day.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yes,
bye-bye.
thank you. Yes, it's history, and it's always good to hear the expressions, the remarks of the others, particularly the elderly in society. You see, it is not solo scriptura alone. Some religion believe it's the Bible and the Bible alone. It's not so. We have a caller on the line, caller Punch. Yes, caller, welcome. We're listening to you, caller. We lost this caller. So you had the traditional words. So we must listen to the voice of the older ones. You know, history passed down from one to the other. The Bible was put together about 300 years after Christ. So it cannot be solo scriptura. It have to be the Bible, the traditional word, and the magisterium. So we have young religion that believe is the Bible and the Bible alone. Just in Grenada, there are some things that are not written, but we're going to hear it from the voice of those who were there. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes.
Permit me about a minute and a half and
Punch.
some information to the public.
Go right ahead.
All right? Yeah. The West End Group breakfast Saturday, June the 4th from 5 a.m. in front of the Hartfield Post Office. Price of the breakfast is $15. On sale will be coconut, baked and fried bakes with salty sauce, smokerin, fried chicken, fish cake, along with Parisian, fried plantain, and green salad. Also, we have local cocoa tea and local juice on sale. Tanya logs, special price $5 and $10. So everyone in the town area are coming and make a buy, see what they could buy. I enjoy a wonderful breakfast. That is in aid of assisting seniors citizens in the village. So Pierre, have a blessing.
Caller.
Hello.
This cocoa tea have coconut in it?
Hello?
When you say local cocoa tea, better you just say cocoa tea, you know. Because if you say local cocoa tea, I want to know if you have coconut in it. And a lot of people say they're making coconut bakes and they put in yeast. And next thing we must remember, when we have activities like that, we must impress on the group to be as local as possible. So you could make bakes with green corn. Thank you very much, caller. Thank you. Yes, it is very important in our country. We're complaining every day about market. We export cocoa, nutmeg, soursop, and fish. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my daughter, welcome.
Thank you for providing this medium so that we can express ourselves.
Go right ahead.
You and the management of the facility, we say thank you. Tomorrow will be a very significant day in the lives of our candidates, those who are going up for office. Tomorrow is nomination day. They would have to go to the various parliamentary offices with a few of the supporters and submit whatever documents and make their payments so they can be on the list for election day. And to them I say hats off. Thank you for coming to the fore, whoever you are. And let us all know that there is no reward without labor. And in order for our candidates to be successful, we must ensure that you do the work on the ground and you do whatever you have to do to support them in a meaningful way and, to make their contribution and be there for them. Once again, I say to their families, thank you for giving us to them to us. Sometimes it's very taxing on the family that they have to be out late and, it's very strenuous. Amidst the COVID, sometimes they go out and they get COVID and they have to go back to their families and we still expect them to provide services. We say thank you and may God bless you and, whoever, God will take care of all of you guys. Have a blessed day, Mr. Pierre, thank you.
Yes, my sister, June 1st, nomination day. It's after that we know who running for election and who going to run next time come. So at that stage, you know who are the candidates that running. I think they have to have a number of people who to witness or sign for the entering the candidacy, and they have to pay. I don't know how much money they have to pay. If it's $300 or $500 or what, small amount of money they have to pay for the candidacy. And normally they go with a procession. They go with a number of people. Sometimes they beating drum, carnival, like all that is good. It helps to keep up the momentum of democracy. We have to remember that the practice of democracy in Grenada is one of the best in the Caribbean. And irrespective of where people, particularly those who are losing, making negative comments, but Grenada have one of the best democratic process in the Caribbean. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, morning, brother. You hearing me?
Go right ahead, man. You're good.
Right. The Honorable Yolan Bain and Sister Delma Thomas will be in Broad Grove this afternoon. I think around 6 o'clock by the Broad Grove Community Center. People of the respective constituency and people all over the country are invited to come and show their support for the ladies. And while on that, I want to ask you a question, my brother. I was listening to a conversation this morning, and the question was asked that if the VAT system that we have in place now is eliminated or gotten rid of, what will replace that to fill? Because I guess the VAT must constitute and contributing to all things like social programs and so on. What will they replace that with to fill that gap? You understand? I would like you to explain that to me, please. If someone say it may be a reintroduction of personal income tax and so on, I would like you to explain that to me, please, sir.
Well, it's different tax policies, and some people must understand when a government come about, people don't ask about the tax policies. So if a government decide to remove that, they may want to not reintroduce, but expand personal income tax. We have a caller on the line, caller Punch.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Go right ahead.
Something I'm concerned about. Now, when you're going to play cricket or you're going to do anything, you must have a prepare. You must prepare the ground prepare whatever place for the occasion, right? I find that I want to go and ask my minister, my representative, certain questions come in connection with the election and what is her plan and what is her thing. But what I find is funny, I can't find the constituency office. I can't find the office. I have looked to the community. I can't.
Which constituency you in?
Both countries. We are in Northeast.
In St. Andrews?
Yes.
One of the constituency offices by Miss Samzin Dunformlin there. One of them is in Maribor.
But I'm talking about the NDC office.
Well, the NDC would not have okay, I'm wrong. The constituency office is not the party office. So you have party office and the constituency office. So the NDC may some of them don't have an office in the constituency. They may be operating from their homes.
So where am I to go and ask her?
At this stage now, you hardly getting chance to ask politician questions. You have to go to the pocket meetings. And in pocket meetings, you don't get a chance to ask questions. Because if you go in the people meeting and you ask a question that the supporters don't want you to ask, hallelujah, Bonji.
All right.
So the best thing to do is to ask the question on radio, and we might repeat them, but don't go in political party meetings, particularly if you're not inclined to support them, and ask any question that might cause them embarrassment. The supporters might maul you. Don't do it.
I find it funny that I can't see me representative.
Well, the representatives and them perhaps going on the ground. So sometimes either they don't pass you home, and when they pass you home, you're not there. But at this stage in election, it don't make wasting time asking them questions. Listen to them, post your questions on talk shows or radio or on this program here, and they might hear.
Or in the bar?
Or in the bar, in the rum shop is a good time, you know. Because you know the rum shop have a lot of exports.
But that is the wrong place. You have too much aggressive, and when you drink alcohol in the rum shop, and you have too much aggression there. And
not necessarily, you know. Sometimes in the rum shop they quoting more scripture than preachers, you know.
Exactly.
And everybody think them is an export in the rum shop.
Exactly.
And politicians sometimes afraid the rum shop because when they drink the rum, they lose their inhibition for fear.
But I want a place where me and her could sit down one-on-one and discuss something.
You will get it after election or 2 years before election, not these few days before election. No politician, no corner in this. When you see them with supporters.
Well, it will be very hard. It will be very hard for me to put my ex by them because they don't have a place of where I could console them in a comfortable way. So
no, but you have to make an appointment with them, and they may not. The best way you might have to try to make an appointment with these representatives. But to tell you the truth, it's not easy to corner them now. They like this stage where they could jump up, so you can ask no question.
Yeah.
And the supporters don't want you to ask them any question if they feel the question might cause any uncomfortable moment.
Thank you, Mr. Pierre. Have a good afternoon. I'll listen to your program.
Yes, my brother. Yes, I think at this stage now, the campaign has heated up. And you have a nomination day is tomorrow. And after that, you have some 20-something more days to campaign, 22 more days to campaign. So the politician will be in full glow. I have always said that I have a soft heart for politicians because I believe they are the most committed, most dedicated, hard-working, and conscientious profession. You have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Hello, good morning. Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Welcome. Yes, doctor.
Mr. Pierre, I want you to tell me something, please. The opposition leader of the NDC, he talking about Maurice Bishop. Well, if he has 44 years, and Maurice Bishop died when in 1983, how much years he had when Maurice Bishop died for him to come in and talk about Maurice Bishop now and saying to love Maurice Bishop, wave the Maurice Bishop and do all this. I want to know, could you tell me around what was his age when Maurice Bishop died?
Well, you see, the opposition leader might have done some history. Remember, lawyers do a lot of reading. They're supposed to do a lot of reading, and they also do history. So you can love Maurice Bishop because of history. Obviously, in 1983, he would have been about 39 years. So I don't know what is his age now, if he's 44, 45. But you are just being primary school. So nothing is wrong in loving Bishop. A lot of Grenadians love Maurice Bishop. Bishop was an orator. He speak very well. He had a lot of charisma. And some of his expressions and utterances was very attractive in the international community. But if you're in politics in Grenada, as a leader of a political party, we have a caller on the line, caller Punch.
Yes, my dear, they're talking about Maurice Bishop again. Maurice Bishop and Maurice Bishop days. Right now, I have 74 years, going in 75 years in July. And when
so you was in your 20-something when Maurice Bishop was there?
That's right.
You was in your 20-something, in the prime of your life. Yeah.
In the new prime of
you 20-something years in the prime of your life. Yeah,
that's
so
why
you would
I
have
like
been.
to go behind politicians and take them from the top.
Yeah, so you would have been in the prime of your life.
That's right.
Nice, tall, handsome, red, charismatic man, promising the world. He promised the Rastafarians he will legalize weed. And then he jail them, he put them in Hopeville and give them pork and feed to it. And then people like Tillman Thomas and Dr. Japal and them was older.
Right. And then who know when he died? And then coming thing now. Then George Brizan formed the NDC.
Yeah, and George Brizan was imitating him too, you know George Brizan used to imitate Bishop too?
Yeah,
he grew a beard.
He was my family, I tell you.
He grew a beard, it's only when they call him Monkey Man, he cut the beard, he never put it back. So you see, from time to time, you're going to have upstart politicians coming and trying to imitate people, not understanding. You can carry sometimes a man weight.
That's right.
Because you cannot carry the good of Maurice Bishop alone. You have to carry the blood Maurice Bishop shed.
The bad side.
Yes.
They carry in the bad side.
You remember
the side of him, they don't some about we don't take it.
What you must have been concerned what happened to the woman in the vehicle that they get in below the drain.
Yes.
Yes, you must know about these things.
Yes, I know about these things.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
So
these politicians should leave Maurice Bishop alone.
That's right.
And don't try to get support because of Maurice Bishop.
They wouldn't get it.
Because you want to provoke some wounds in this country.
That's right. It's more wounds they come with.
The wounds in the country.
Hatred,
the people of Montreach might be more concerned about you.
That's right.
It might mean that you're no longer interested in the press.
No.
You might irritate some people that Maurice Bishop brought sad stories to.
That's right. And I love our uncle. You know who I'd love again to see? Uncle Gary.
But when you decide to deal with the good of Uncle Gary, you have to deal with the bad too.
Yes.
Yeah. Uncle Gary.
He don't have nobody, no politician, don't tell me they don't know about it.
Yeah.
They can't tell me that.
So yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So these are some of the stories, but I think it is better. The leader of the National Democratic, we have a caller on the line, caller Punch.
Yeah, I think leader of the opposition Democratic Congress should cease from trying to think that he is Morris Bishop. One of the preaching that Morris Bishop used to be doing was against the multinational companies. Morris Bishop opposed heavily the multinational companies and the way they were treating people. Yes? Our opposition here, Mr. Deacon, is pro multinational companies. He has been supporting them heavily against the Grenadian people. It's very unfortunate now that he's trying to pretend that he's a Morris Bishop while supporting multinational companies. Of course, he's working for his money, or he was working for his money, so that nothing. He was working for his money. They paid him for a job, so he's doing a job. My heavens.
So what's about your philosophy? What's about what you stand for? What's about your position?
Yes,
You see, basically what I think is in his interest to avoid bringing Morris Bishop in this room. Because as soon as you bring Morris Bishop, you bring some wounds. Morris Bishop jailed 3,000 people in Grenada without charge, without trial, or an opportunity to defend themselves.
He exposes himself heavily.
You should never go there. And then you distorting the fundamental principles of NDC. And Tillman Thomas was jailed, and he is behind you. So you're treating him with utter contempt.
Even Nazim Bok too. Nazim Bok, former finance minister.
Well, Nazim Bok could last. He's well again. You putting both of them in a monkey pants.
But they seem to. I'm not sure what they're doing. Nazim Bok especially.
But sometimes you could put yourself in a position of no return. Eh? You see, if you notice, the leader of the opposition, I think he said it right. He was responding to the Prime Minister's invitation to come home.
Yeah.
And I admire his very tactful answer. He said he don't know if it is genuine or if it is theatrics. But he said, how are you going to look for him to be on NNP platform or NDC platform? And a lot of times, politicians could put themselves in a monkey pants. Yeah. That is why you must be certain of the philosophy and the strategy of a political party.
I asked the question, after you would have lost his election now, after you would have lost the election, will he be going back supporting the multinational companies, or will he be starting...
If he lose,
yes,
he could win all the seats, and this could win all the seats. No, Grenada does not obey conventions. Grenada is one of the countries in the Caribbean that all the other looking at, because Grenada is very unpredictable.
Yeah.
And they don't obey convention. No. So sometimes NDC win all the seats.
So suppose he would have lost his seat.
And sometimes they lose all the seats.
And they lose all the seats. Will he be going back representing multinational companies again?
But sometimes you forget Morris Bishop and you forget that and you move on. You see, if you don't have well-grounded philosophy, you could always get thwarted. You just can't be picking up philosophy on the road and position.
So he go back. Yeah. He gone back where he was to make money, right?
Well, it's important for a man to make money.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Yes, I think one of the issues in election that sometimes we ignore is what is the attitude of the political party to the people in the lower socio-economic group. This group of people has always been the majority of people in any country. And this is important. One of the issues that the National Democratic Congress one of the challenges they have had is the attitude to people of this group and the utterances of people on the nucleus, surrogate leaders, and spokesperson. For instance, if you call them needy and greedy, eat-a-food people, traitors, dons, these things could seriously end up a challenge. Caller, welcome.
Hello?
Yes, caller, welcome.
We're enjoying your program, Mr. Pierre.
Thank you very much.
The good works. Just want to let you know that Sunday is the Feast of Pentecost. At the Feast of Pentecost, the church was born. The Catholic Church at the Feast of Pentecost. That's when the Holy Spirit came down on the apostles. And on Whit Monday, because that Sunday is such a great feast, Whit Monday, we're celebrating with the harvest at the St. Andrew's RC Church ground from 1 o'clock.
You know what I like about
Make sure that
Pentecost?
you're there and let all your followers know about that harvest.
You know what I like about...
We have barbecue, we have a bar, and all the other things that would come in harvest. So thank you and continue with the good work. And let the people know that we have to unite in whatever we're doing so that because it's one Grenada. When we wake up after the 23rd, the same sky we all be seeing. And we have to unite and work together. So let good sense prevail in what we do and say about each other. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Yes, scholar. You know what I like when Peter say, this is the men are not drunk. This is just the third hour in the morning. But if Peter come now, Peter can say that, because some fellas drinking rum since daylight in the rum shop. They're drinking rum since daylight. But in those days, people used to drink rum in the evening. In those days, people used to drink rum in the evening. That is why the great Aristotle and them used to call it the symposium. They used to call the rum shop the symposium. Caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre?
Yes.
You know, there are some people that they want to portray other people. The good things that person do. Well, you cannot portray one side. You have to portray the both sides of the people. If you want to be like a person. But I always think there can be one person. There is no two people. There is no one person twice. There is one person by the name of that person, and you cannot coach. You cannot be more bishop. More bishop is more bishop. Right? And if you want to, what you trying to get? Look at it, legalize marijuana. And that bishop told the people you legalize marijuana. And what happened to them?
The jail them.
Many of them, the jail them end up in Hopeville. And the same thing again. He's trying to legalize marijuana. And when you legalize marijuana, the same people behind the same man with the street, the two street and put them in prison again. That's why I always tell people, you have to think about what you feel as well. Because you cannot look at one portray man and only want to look at the positive side and forgetting the bad things that person do. Once you portray a person, both of them have to come together, the good and the bad. The good and the bad. So I say, be yourself. Be yourself. Don't try to do what a man want to do. Right? And do good things and forget the bad things. And when you say that one, long live the spirit of revolution. When I hear that, I say, my God.
You wondering how Tillman Thomas felt. You wasn't wondering how Tillman Thomas felt.
That is the thing. But if you have some advisors, you as the leader came up with something. When you came up with something, don't just go and say it. You have advisors, go to them and sit down with them and look at that. What could be the after effect of that? Because when you do that, the people will support you. When you look at what you're saying, you say, no, but I was against revolution. And then we talk about long live revolution and want to put you more bishop. That could put away people from you. Right? So we give them advice. Where some people, they feel little big to take advice.
But sometimes you see, one of the challenge I say with a lot of young politicians, they were not involved in groups and activities before.
Exactly.
If you're on the ground, you're going to know there are a number of things you could quote for Bishop, but you mustn't take Bishop lob, stock, and buy. Bishop came to the Holy Comforter in the government school, and he tell the people they could plant weed. I think he was surprised of the cross-section of people that asked him questions. One young fella went down to the police and tell the police they tiffy weed. Yes, scholar. And tell the police a thief he weed. And when the police beg him to behave himself, he say he would go and report them to Bishop because they are counter-revolutionaries. The police went up with him, take the weed that remained, brought him in front of the magistrate, and they give him 2 years in jail. And that came like a shocker to the community. Because Morris Bishop told them they could plant weed. Yes, scholar, welcome, punch. Scholar, we lost this scholar. So, over the years, again I said, we have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. We're listening to you. All right, we lost this caller again. Yes, over the years, I said Morris Bishop was a very charismatic individual. And people love him dearly. But I think he was one of the worst leaders that passed in this country. The worst leaders. Morris Bishop contributed to the jailing of 3,000 Grenadians. And if you have any doubt with my statistics, ask Mr. Tillman Thomas. A similar number had to run from Grenada. So Morris Bishop solved unemployment very quickly. 6,000 people out of the job market. And he supervised over the worst crimes in Grenada after slavery and colonialism. From castration to taking target practice on people's foot. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good day, sir.
Yes, my brother, punch.
Right. Well, tonight the NNP bandwagon rode to a small village of Redmond to bring the message of St. Patrick West. You know, the St. Patrick West candidate will be there tonight. Mr. Victor Philip and others to spread the good news to the people of Redmond. So at 6:30, so I wish everyone come out because we are about to face a very important day tomorrow, President, nomination day, and that's a very important day for everyone.
What time is nomination time?
Pardon me?
What time is nomination time?
It'll start from about 9 in the morning.
Because if you come late, John be taken. You know that?
If you...
You know a side could win the seat on nomination day?
Yeah, so I saw that already.
Yes, a side could win the seat on nomination day. Because if you come late, it is not 9 to 12.
Okay.
A man like you is supposed to know, you know.
Yeah.
How much money they have to pay?
Because I go listening many times, yeah?
Yes, I know. Somebody tell me $500 they have to pay.
Oh, they raise it. It used to be less, you know.
And it is between 9 to 12. And politicians, those who want to contest election, have to make absolutely certain that they're there and they have a number of people. They have a specific number of people that have to sign that form. So while some campaigners jumping up, they must know what is required.
Okay.
So the action is in Redmond.
Yes. I heard my old party name mentioned in the race again. I was rather surprised. They have a belly. I was rather surprised.
Well, I thought was
ULP will be contesting some seats.
Well, you have to wait till nomination day to know. Because you have power and you have some people from the United States of America on Facebook. I think they're coming on and to get nominated. So it's at the end of the day, we're going to know who talking and who's serious.
Good.
Yes, Scott.
This is serious business. I want Grenadians. I want who are eyes to see. Let them see who are eyes to hear.
We only know who's serious after nomination day.
We cannot.
If the NNP candidate don't come and get nominated, the NDC win and vice versa.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, thank you. Yes, tomorrow is nomination day. That is the first And you have 22 days after the 23rd, we have election. There'll be no campaigning on the 23rd. And all the posters, markings, dominoes, insignias identifying with a party, you have to be a certain distance away from the polling station. You don't have to take it all around the country. That is not practical. But the police would be taking out all within a certain distance. And normally they put a chalk in the road within that distance. No loitering is tolerated. And they would have police at that line. And you have 2 police in the polling station. And you have a marshal in the polling station. The purpose of the marshal is to help you to get your name, identify your name quickly, and to keep order. And when that 5 o'clock time reach, that marshal would go to the end of the line. And the presiding officer would announce 5 o'clock, so that anybody on the end of the line must vote. And this presiding officer would declare the time 6 o'clock in the morning. And he would ask all those in the polling station to synchronize with my time. The presiding officer is the authority. What he says go. You could challenge him. He might only take a note of it. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome. Punch.
Afternoon, Sir Pierre.
Yes, caller.
To the listening public. Now, first and foremost, I have a bad cry with some of us Grenadians. We're running down those Indians, investors in Grenada, those who running down the Indians on Sundays and public holidays. When some of them sit in front of the television, drinking and eating and enjoying themselves. The Indian is on the main road, the bad road, also dropping materials. And most Grenadians, I don't think the poor ones. The Indian not cause them to have a mattress or have something of value in the house. Blenders, chairs to poor people who cannot afford to go to the big farms to purchase it. The Indian move about, they come in with the children and the wife, with the carts collecting the money and delivering to the customer. How many Grenadian businessmen will do that? Was only one, the late
LA person.
Some of them could invest, but they not. And the others, everybody is thieves. Some of them investors in Grenada, they feed their own children and their wife. If they see their own shadow, they ball in and say mother and making noise. I wish 10,000 Indian businessmen could come to Grenada to invest. They bless so go down the back. Lot of Grenadians does business with them. The only one that does the thing like LAP is Mr. Lalsin. They does the delivery service island-wide, and he's an Indian. And they have good hearts, including he, to help us and to help themselves. What some of us do not realize, that we must help our brothers and sisters. So they cannot handle, let the Indians handle, and we must compliment them at all times. Long live the Indians. Thank you, Sir Pierre.
Yes, caller, I have to agree with you. Sometimes we always taking pot shot at the Indians community. We must admire them. We must watch how they work hard. We must see how they involve with their family. And I agree with you, Mr. Lalson is an outstanding individual in the community. Very humble, very genuine, very helpful, a true Grenadian. Yes, my brothers and sisters. And if we have a call on the line, the number is 442-0175. And we're on Real FM, Boss FM, CRFM, on Facebook page, Real FM Facebook page, and Francis Pierre Facebook page. And I see somebody said wolf in sheep clothing. I don't understand what that means. Serious, the money should be more. I don't know what that means. The worst thing the opposition leader has done is to mention Maurice Bishop in his rallies. He could mention Maurice Bishop, but don't claim to be Maurice Bishop. Maurice Bishop should be left alone. Deal with it from history. Maurice Bishop, we have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome. Punch.
Good afternoon, good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, well, I want to get this thing straight with the people that they claim to be the opposition. I don't know if it's opposition or critics, whatever there is, but they never claim or accuse Dr. Mitchell of handling the economy bad. This wrong. They doesn't have a point to come with anything that the economy is doing bad. But he have to go because he too old. Time for him to go. Your country doing well, your leader doing well. But you want him to move on because he get old. So he doesn't really have the country at heart. You after the individual that is doing well in the country. That is why you see some of them now trying to acknowledge people that didn't do so well in this country. People that didn't do much in the sense of Grenada today, what it really is today. You know, the names that call us people that get in the name of heroes and them kind of a thing. And there is some names that leave marks in Grenada that up to this day, we didn't burn yet, we were far from that, and up to this day, those marks are leaving a lot of benefit to the people of Grenada and will continue to do so. But you heard they fighting to claim others as heroes who didn't make, even though they made contribution. But apart from the contribution, what was done after or between really and truly doesn't shine the contribution as much. The reflection of the contribution wouldn't be as much because a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of sorrows was within that. And you know, we try to be too hypocrite sometimes. When you ask who is the best Prime Minister Grenada I ever have, you know, we so hypocritically go back and say Maurice Bishop.
Now, Maurice Bishop not qualifying that. That is Kit Mitchell and Eric Gary.
Well, I mean,
this thing is clear.
It is clear. Yeah. We shouldn't try to be too hypocritical.
You're not supposed to hesitate to answer this question.
They must not, because right now as we speak, we have an opposition. It's not opposing the development of this country, so more they're opposing the leader of the country at this time.
But if you go in and play cricket, you don't leave your best batsman or your best bowler home if they are available and healthy.
But at the same time again, if you're claiming you're playing against a team and you're proving to yourself and your members that the opponent have a certain player that was a good player, he cannot play in good anymore, but the team still have him. I won't go and tell the team nothing. I will leave the team with him and know for sure we don't expect performance from that one. So that's something we have in the bag already. But you're claiming that Dr. Mitchell is not good. He get old and whatever, and he must go. I thought they would have used that as a means of tactical and let NMP keep him there because he's not effective, he's not good anymore, and beat the NMP with the election coming. They don't have to force him out and ask him to go on, you know, making this kind of a misleading statement and trying to get people thinking otherwise. The election is coming, the people of Grenada will judge him. If he's not doing well as he was before, they will decide that. But you're not giving them that chance. You sending a message outside and telling the man that he is too old. Like the Grenadian people don't know his age. Them alone not know it. So the Grenadian people don't know who they're voting for. So they're telling us who we're voting for. Like we know we're voting blinded. We don't know how we're going on with us. That's the reason why they're claiming us, the people that choose to vote for Dr. Mitchell, as dunce and stupid and all kind of name, you know, all kind of more coy, all kind of name, disrespecting people for their own rights. And then you see yourself should be qualified to yet come back and govern this country with the same set of people in it. Something must be wrong. Have a good day.
Yes, caller, thank you very much. And we're back on the number to call is 442-0175. This is a period of time when we have a lot of politics on the road, and we welcome politics or any other topic. You could always change the topic if you want, but we welcome politics in Grenada. Grenada is a unique country. We're not like the other Caribbean islands. We don't support convention. In Barbados, you win 2 terms, you win 2 terms, you win 2 terms, you win 2 terms. No. Only 2 politicians in Grenada that the people permitted to cross 1 term. And that is Eric Gary and Kit Mitchell. That is a fact. You don't, if you're in a discussion, you don't waste time denying that. And one of the issues that you're not hearing at all, I agree with the caller. The issue in this election is not about performance. This is not an issue. But I don't believe there is any election in Grenada that the issue was about performance of the government. Never in history. It means that our politicians always trying their best. And that is why I have a soft heart for politicians. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome.
Yeah. Well,
go right ahead.
First time I'm going to listen to that station and think,
thank you.
It's not so positive. I am a detainee of the People's Revolutionary Government. A while ago, I heard him comments about Morris Bishop. And I would say, I wouldn't call him 100% bad or evil, but yes, in a fact, he did oppose, most of the evil, and today, you see, we're still suffering. 40 odd years after. And you know what happened in again problems? There's a book that they call the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and that was probably brought up by maybe this present administration.
Yeah.
With Desmond Tutu and these kind of fellas. And I got left out in the first issue with the Claims Commission. I went to this program, and according to the recommendations in this book, I'm still suffering here. I am a homeless person 40 odd years after. My property was taken away from me. I am living on the street, and I having a real serious problem.
Were you a military person that time?
Well, yes, of course. In the beginning, I didn't really join the revolution in the very beginning on the onset. But Morris Bishop was a friend of mine, and he was a man who had done some services to me in the High Court before the revolution. And I appreciated that. And because of my parents, I was forced out of their house because I didn't support the revolution. But anyway, finally I ended up joining the revolution. And then over a period of time, when I realized the road I had to walk, I decided to stay away from that. And then I was detained. And brother man, I was tortured at the Hopeville camp and at the Richmond Hill prison. But I could never forget that day. A Cuban doctor, and I believe she's a Cuban doctor anyway. I don't have anything or hold anything against all Cubans, because in recent time, I had a good surgery at the General Hospital by a Cuban doctor. But at that point in time, a friend, a Cuban doctor snatched me by my hand, and she said, "Oh, you one of them?" And slammed my injection needle in my hand, boy, and pumping whatever it was. I don't know. And to this day, I suffering, boy. I gain all kind of problems, headache, blackout, and all kind of stuff, whatnot, etc. No matter what. But anyway, I am glad to hear this program and to hear the callers and whatnot, etc. I definitely wish for a change of government in this country. And besides that, let me tell you, I am operating in a wheelchair right now. And where I live, the road, that wheelchair, the road just mashing up that wheelchair. And it's whole, and I don't know how much to complain again. I mean...
Which village you live?
Yeah?
Which village or which community?
Boy, I live in Penmota. And I'm not afraid. Even though I got something small from this government in the past and whatnot, etc. I mean, $4,000 sometime in 1998 as up against a claim that I put in for $100 and almost $30,000. I don't consider that.
But in your situation, there are a number of people, and I raised it once in my discussion here, who went to prison that didn't benefit when they were giving out money after the invasion.
Yeah, the Claims Commission.
So you didn't get no money?
I was chiseled off of that because the said people who I sit down in prison with and who was responsible for taking care of all detainees, they claim that they forget me.
Well, because Mr. Thomas and them supposed to be big people in that claim.
I ain't calling names, but I'm just telling you, the said people I sit down in prison with, when the time comes, they turn around and they tell me plain out they forget me.
How much years you spend in prison?
Let me tell you, Lloyd not deceive me. I met a fella from committee just somewhere up there called Mikey James. He met me in town, we met together. And what he tell me, let me go and get some money, boy. Lloyd and them had some money for us. I walk up with him to the place, the Lloyd Noel office. When Lloyd Noel see my face, the first words he could have tell me is, oh God, Mikos, you know, we forget you. And what he do? He shove his hand in all the pocket and he give me $68 and a few cents. I could never forget that.
So
from Prime Minister come down because right now I suffering as a homeless person and I undergoing real tribulation, 40 odd years. Torture, licks in Oakville, injection in Richmond Hill. Well, I say Richmond Hill University because I learn a lot and I'm grateful. I just put the Grenada people.
Hopeville was where they had the Rastas.
Yeah?
Hopeville was generally the Rastas.
Exactly. Well, I was a Rasta them time.
How long you spent in Hopeville?
About a week because I created a problem. Because what happened? They had the Rasta men walking outside in the field under gunpoint. And the food that they was planting, the Cubans come in and reap it and go with it. And they bring in food in a ration pan. And they poison the food because I learned that from people who was preparing the food in prison. The people who was preparing the food in prison, giving them good food to eat. And soldiers used to be spreading things and pouring things in the ration pan and bring for man to eat and drink. And so all of that, bring up a lot of, boy, look.
So you were transferred to prison?
Yeah? Because when I create the problem and get the Rastas to stop planting the food, they didn't like that.
You get in trouble. They put you under heavy manners.
Exactly. There was a soldier called Rudolfo Gilvey from Mardi Gras. And he and I fought, literally fight. And when he realized he couldn't beat me, he called for support, he called for backup. And the British soldiers come. But it's thanks to them same Rastas that come and surround me and grab me and put me back inside. After that, you know what they do me? They put a handcuff on my hand and they hang me up on the gate. Just my toes barely touch the ground for 9 hours.
Yes, caller, we're sorry we come to the end of the program and the story is interesting. Maybe you could call us back another time. It is good, but we're back with you tomorrow again between 12 and 1 when we speak about anything, politics, religion, or socio-economic issues, but you too could tell your own story. Thank you very much.
We vow to join hands and to your Caribbean pride. Sing it loud and strong. Feel our hearts beat as one. Celebrating song as we rise to heights where we belong. Sound the victory drum for Caracom. Though great and diverse be our ethnicities, the bonds that unite us are stronger than these. We dine, we pray, we love, we dance and we play. We relate to each other the West Indian way. Today as a people united as one, determined and steadfast we stand. We look to a brand new horizon.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
This is the latest news update produced by Triple